Good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Gumbo Talk Thursday. We're here to open your mind. Good morning, and welcome to Gumbo Talk. This morning we are going to get in the stew on this Thursday. It is just Cindy and I in the studio this morning.
Well, we just have to take care of business today.
We do that anyway.
Every Thursday.
We're going to talk behind their back, so I hope they're listening.
Oh, you know they're listening.
Rachel is sick, and Terry had to go on an errand this morning, so, they just...
Well, you know what? We should talk bad about them.
We should.
And we won't say... Well, I won't tell them if you don't tell them.
I won't tell them either. Do you know people that talk about people behind their backs?
Girl, don't even go there. Don't even go there. I've learned that I don't talk behind your back. I'll just tell you in front of your face.
Right.
Right?
Because somebody else generally is going to tell you what I said.
Exactly.
Because
so why go through all that mess, right? Why go through all that mess? And let's just get to the point.
That is so funny. Aren't we too old for this at this point in our lives?
We're not that old.
I mean, at least I think
maybe
halfway mature.
Yeah.
At least maturity-wise, we should be at the point where we're too old to be talking behind people's back.
I could definitely agree. I just don't. I have very little tolerance for that. So if you have something with me, just tell me.
Just tell me.
Exactly.
It takes less time. You aren't as angry. You can generally, accommodate the conversation or the feelings or the, frustration and kind of get it taken care of in a shorter amount of time rather than not speaking your mind, holding it in, holding a grudge, telling everybody else around you, and then trying to get team A on team B, and then y'all have an argument, and then the members of the teams don't like each other, and then the two of you work it out, and you still have haters on each side, and you created that.
Just listening to you makes me so tired.
Right.
Just the weight.
Isn't that true?
Exactly. The weight that you carry around with you. When you could just get to the point and say, Eileen, you know what? I love you, but you got a problem. I have a problem with you, sister.
Look, you irked my last nerve.
You irked my last nerve. That's right. That's right.
You got on my last nerve. I know somebody is dealing with something like this morning. Somebody has, had this happen to them at some point. So just have these conversations. Open your mind to living differently in the world. Have compassion, understanding. You don't know what someone is going through. You don't know what the situation is, but having the conversation can probably ease so much resentment.
And just another reminder, we talked about this last week about indifference, about Lent.
Yes.
So this Lent season, right?
Yes.
So if something has been bothering you or you feel like you need to tell somebody, confront them.
Confront them.
In a very gentle way. We're not
confrontational.
Exactly.
Approach them. Maybe we'll say that. Is that better?
So
because we've been talking about random acts of kindness.
Correct.
And we're going to do that every Thursday. And we're going to remind people during this Lenten time, to observe that and to really go out of your way to do a random act of kindness. So if you did a random act of kindness and would like to share, please give us a call at 504-260-9265. That's 504-260-9265. And throughout the entire show, no matter what we're talking about, call in with your random acts of kindness.
Or even if you receive something.
Or if you receive.
Correct.
Yes.
If you thought that somebody did something really cool for you out of just the heck of it, call us. We want to hear about it because that's a sense of motivation for us, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And maybe it's something that will entice someone else to, step out on a limb and do a random act of kindness for someone else.
Correct.
And don't have toll booths anymore, but you could pay an extra $1 for the person behind you.
Oh, let me tell you, I don't miss that at all now.
Right?
So.
Or give your waitress or your waiter an extra tip.
Instead of 18%, let's do 20 or 21%.
Right. If a family member could use your help them out. If you, got a ride, pay for their gas. Or, that's kind of paying them back, though, but maybe they didn't expect it.
Well, it's funny. I'll share this. I take my kids to school every morning, and when Lake Forest used to be off of Haynes, there's this little boy. He's not little. He's in 7th grade. He would walk from Bullard all the way to Haynes. And every morning we would purposely take the same route to pick him up.
Really?
And it was even especially on rainy day, I make sure that I pick him up because I didn't want him to walk to school, in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
But then So the boys started, I guess, either coming early, and then but we would still take the same route. And the triplets would be like, Mom, we haven't seen, Amaria for a while. We haven't. So, so my kids are now, so now we see him all the time. He's like, Miss Wynn, I'm able to get to school earlier. So I was like, well, that's good because I worry, when you see a kid actually, going to the same school with your children and he or she's walking, pull over.
Right.
Give that child a ride.
Exactly.
It's not going to hurt. You're not going to be late. If you're late, you're already late.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now, So.
Well, I will give a shout out to my son because I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for a Good Mother Award. And yesterday we park in a garage. And we have a lady who's a little bit older who lives in our building, and she sits, downstairs, kind of like 227. We absolutely love her. Shout out. And someone was dropping her off. They had, taken her to get her groceries, and I was getting something out of the car. Number one, Aiden got my purse out of the car, so I was like, oh, thank you, being all, all nice. But then he went over and opened the door. It's Miss Hardy, so if y'all know Miss Hardy, shout out to Miss Hardy. He went and opened the door for Miss Hardy and helped her get out the car. And I was just like, and actually I didn't really notice till I turned around, and the gentleman who was dropping her off, who went to go get a basket for her groceries, was like, oh my gosh, that was really nice. Thank you so much for helping her. And I was like,
that is awesome.
Random
and I
act
think,
of kindness.
exactly. And even for adult, when you see a young person doing it, congratulate them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Give them that kudos.
Yes. And then they'll do more of it.
Exactly. So very good point.
Because we like to point out what kids do wrong.
Oh my God.
Point out what they do well, and then they will do more of it. I have a caller in line too, and they are a first-time caller. I love first-time callers. August, welcome to the Good Life. Good morning. How are you? You have a random act of kindness?
Good morning, ladies.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I am a bus driver on the Jefferson Parish side.
Oh, wonderful.
No offense, Arlene.
It's okay. We love all our listeners from all over, especially Jefferson Parish.
I'm on my way to work, and I was listening to you guys, and I just happened to glance to my right, and I saw the pecan man, and the chlorine man, and his name is
Theo.
Hi, Theo.
Yeah, my aunt has a praline shop on Magazine Street. They're one of the best in the world. The bus driver, he loves them. They're good.
Where is it?
On Magazine Street.
5201 Magazine.
5201 Magazine. What's the name of it?
T. Eva's old-fashioned pies and pralines.
I know where that is.
Yeah, that's my aunt. I'm a nephew.
Oh, well, shout out. Everybody go to T. Eva's today. Get some pralines. Make sure you support Random Act of Kindness. Look how that happened.
Huh?
I said, look how this happened. Thank you so much for calling.
Yes, ma'am. So that's my random act of kindness. I picked him up and getting him to his destination.
Oh,
that is wonderful, August. No, thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were just talking about giving someone a ride.
Correct.
And then we're not only giving them a ride.
Especially on the West Bank Expressway. It's busy.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to lose your spot, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, thank you, August, for doing that. Oh, my
Absolutely.
gosh.
Random acts of kindness. And then not only did he give him a ride, but we're able to shout out, a small business in the area
Correct.
and hopefully give them some support. So that's T. Eva's on Magazine Street. Give us that address again.
Address is 5201.
5201 T. Eva's on Magazine Street. Make sure you go support. What do they sell?
We know Pauline's.
I'm going to give you the phone number to the shop. The phone number is 899-8350.
Y'all, that's 899-8350. That is T. Eva's on Magazine Street. That's 5201 Magazine Street. That's a shout out. See? That's the good life.
Yeah.
All right, WBOK.
Thank you so much, August, for your call, and thank you for your random act of kindness.
That is
the good life.
That is.
That's what it's all about. See?
I'm feeling good today.
Are you feeling it? I
am feeling it. I am feeling it.
Well, you know who, and I hate to switch, but, I know someone who is feeling good today. Do y'all remember Sandra Day O'Connor? She was the first woman elected, or appointed, I should say, to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. And she was appointed by President Reagan.
Okay. my.
So she has spoken out to the whole Supreme Court conversation with regards to Justice Scalia passing away. Sandra Day O'Connor, and this is from the Huffington Post, Sandra Day O'Connor, the retired Supreme Court justice appointed by President Ronald Reagan, said on Wednesday that President Barack Obama should get to name the replacement for the late Justice Anton Scalia. O'Connor, in an interview with a Fox affiliate, now you wouldn't have thought that on Fox, she said that she disagreed with the Republican arguments that the next president and not Obama should get to fill the high court vacancy. And this is coming from someone who sat on the Supreme Court. She goes on to say, I think we need someone there to do the job now, and let's get on with it. And she is, as I said before, the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court. So I think her voice carries a lot of weight in this conversation.
I think she has a little weight on that conversation.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
You know, she's 85 now, and she agrees that it's unusual for a Supreme Court vacancy to open in an election year. She says, which creates much talk around the thing that isn't even necessary. She said that the president still has an important responsibility to fulfill. She says, you just have to pick the best person you can under the circumstances, as the appointing authority must do. It's an important position and one that we care about as a nation and as a people. And I wish the president well as he makes choices and goes down that line. It's hard. Right.
Thank you. Thank her for putting that letter out.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Because this has been a conversation that has really been dividing. It's, the conversation of particularly the Republican presidential nominees. It was like 3 minutes after the Supreme Court Justice Scalia passed away that they were having this conversation about how they're not even going to look at anyone that he nominates. I was like, President Obama didn't even give his condolences yet. Like,
correct.
Give the man time.
The man hasn't even been buried yet.
Exactly. So, you know what, we know there's partisanship in politics, but this is the Supreme Court, and we elected President Obama for 4 years, not 3. He is still our president.
That's right.
It is his constitutional responsibility
his
to appoint a nominee and to the Supreme Court, and he should absolutely do that.
Yep.
And there shouldn't be all this nonsense.
The Republican Party needs to focus on some other stuff.
Well, but exactly. And what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, because if it were a Republican president and there was a, Democratic Congress, the Republicans would be like, oh, yeah, we're nominating somebody.
Correct.
So you shouldn't necessarily set something that you don't want to go the opposite
double
way.
Standard.
Because exactly. When you set double standards, they will come back to bite you in the bottom.
Yep.
So, and, we're speaking to this with the regard of, SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, but how many of us set double standards in different areas of our lives?
Yeah.
So we just want to open your mind to living differently in the world and saying,
thank you for doing that.
Right.
Thank
you.
Yep.
And we're not going to nitpick. We're not going to point fingers and talk about exactly what it is. But if you're setting a double standard, you know that you're doing it.
Yep.
And if you don't want that shoe to be on the other foot, because it will someday, it will happen. Because it always happens. Isn't that what karma is all about? We're going to go to Keith, who's online too. Keith, welcome to The Good Life. How are you? We are here with Cindy
Keith.
And myself.
Good morning, beautiful sister. How are y'all this morning?
Good morning.
Pretty good.
Blessed.
How are you?
I'm blessed.
The president, and the question of act of kindness, the president in his act of kindness is trying to choose the best and give them the opportunity to do their job, but we all know he's being blocked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's the second act of kindness by the president. Today he's on his way to Cuba, right?
I don't think it's today, but I know that they are setting a date for him to go to Cuba. And we're actually going to talk about that.
The act of kindness that he's going to do, he's going to open up the Cuba so those people can prosper a little more over there.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
And it's making the Republicans mad again.
Yep.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you so much for your call. And what he is speaking about is that President Obama is expected to visit Cuba in March as the countries work together, United States and Cuba, to normalize their ties. This is actually from NOLA.com. President Barack Obama will pay an historic visit to Cuba in the coming weeks. Senior Obama administration's officials said Wednesday, becoming the first president to step foot on the island in nearly 9 decades.
Wow.
Y'all hear that?
Oh, my gosh.
9 decades. Obama's stop in Cuba will be part of a broader trip to Latin America that the president will take next month. said the officials. The White House plans to unveil Obama's travel plans Thursday. So today we will find out his exact travel plans. But although Obama has long been expected to visit Cuba in his final year, word of his travel plans drew immediate resistance from opponents of warmer ties with Cuba, including Republican presidential nominees. Did we not expect them to do that, though? Right, I know. I'll
share my comment when we get back.
Right, let's take a break. This is The Good Life. This is Gumbo Talk. We're getting in the stew. Cindy and I are in the studio, and we'll be right back.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
Join us at La Musée de FPC, Free People of Color, a house museum honoring the legacy of New Orleans Free People of Color as we celebrate Black history 365 days a year. Join us in February at discounted tour rates, $10 per person for adults, $7 for students and seniors. La Musée is located at 2336 Esplanade Avenue. For more information, visit www.lamuseedefpc.com. That's www.lamuseedefpc.com.
All through the month of February, join Toyota of New Orleans as we support Black History Month and the many significant accomplishments of African Americans throughout our history. Hurry into Toyota of New Orleans and drive the new 2016 Toyota Corolla L's for only $169 a month. $169 a month for 36 months with only $999 due at signing. Or move up to the bold new 2016 Toyota Camry for only $189 a month. $189 a month with only $1999 at signing. Toyota of New Orleans will even deliver the mega versatile RAV4 for only $199 a month. $199 a month with $1999 at signing for the new 2016 Toyota RAV4 LE. Log on, learn more at toyotaofneworleans.com. 36-month lease with Pro Credit through Toyota Financial Services at Tier 1 Plus rate. 12,000 miles per year in security deposit. Includes rebates of $900 to $1,000. Cap cost Corolla 19305. Camry 23222. RAV4 25087. Offer expires 3/1/16.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro Disposal, this is our day. For more than 25 years, Metro Disposal has been a vital resource for waste management in our community. With state-of-the-art equipment and technology, we are committed to providing a cleaner, safer, healthier environment. This is our community. This is Metro Disposal.
Getting a speeding ticket can impact drivers in many ways for multiple years. When you receive a traffic ticket, in addition to the fines you may have to pay, you may have to miss work to attend court, and in many cases, your insurance rates may increase as a result of one single ticket. Before you decide to just pay your traffic ticket and get it over with, speak to an attorney. In most instances, when you hire an attorney, he or she can stand in for you at court and you do not have to attend. Also, lawyers are trained and experienced in navigating the legal system, which could mean the difference between a blemished or clean driving record. If you have the unfortunate experience of receiving a traffic ticket, consult an attorney who will provide you with advice that is specific to your situation. This was your Legal Line of the Day, brought to you by the Hilliard Law Firm. For more information, call 504-729-6133.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Gumbo Talk Thursday, and we're here to open your mind. Y'all, sometimes we come back from break and we just dancing in the studio. I don't even want to talk. We're like, living a good life, living a good life, living in a different lane. Y'all. Okay, I can't sing, but I
love the
music,
by the way.
Do you?
Yeah, I still love it. Still love it.
I do. So I want to shout out to Trumpet Black. Think, he has passed away. But anyone, speaking of that, anyone who knows where his trumpet is, y'all better return it to his family. It was stolen from his funeral, and so I will say it until they find it. Yes, that is my mission, to find
Do you know the description of the trumpet, or?
It's a butt trumpet. No, I don't know. I'm going to look it up. No. But put it this way. If you have a trumpet in your house and you even play music and it doesn't belong to you and you took it from somebody's funeral.
I'm sure he has his name on it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Trumpet Black. Make sure you reach out to his family, the Hill family, because that's just wrong.
Yeah.
That is not the good life. So if you know somebody who knows somebody that stole Trumpet Black's trumpet, make sure he gets it back. Make sure his family gets it back. And, y'all, come on now.
Yeah.
We're better
nice
than that.
To each other.
We are better than that as
Correct.
a community. We were just talking about President Obama, going to have his first trip to Cuba. We're reaching out to, trying to, and people are going against President Obama for this. But I'm like, to open people's mind to living differently in the world and to create new relationships with Cuba and, maybe soften, their leader, you have to take one step first.
But one thing I shared with you during our break, Eileen, was the fact that I love President Obama because, everybody knows that Cyndi Lauper is my idol, right? So
you kind of look like her.
Yeah, so, but I find that President Obama has kind of like the black version of Cyndi Lauper personality. He is he's actually the first president that visited a federal prison. Mm-hmm. And it's things that he does he doesn't let the title get to him. Mm-hmm. And he cares about the people. And it doesn't matter if he's familiar with it, but he's going to embrace and get to know it. And so he opens his mind. He lives a good life.
Yes.
Right. So really good example. And I'm so glad that he's leading our country and fighting to make sure that we get the right person appointed to the Supreme Court, and then breaking this decades of separation between us and Cuba. Right.
Right.
And
y'all, if it haven't worked in 50 years, like, come on now, like, do something different.
Correct.
What's the definition of, stupidity? Doing the same thing over and over again and not getting the same result?
Yep.
At what point do you choose something
You got to
different?
change it. You got to change it. And
insanity, the definition of insanity for all you listeners out there.
But yeah, so definitely, I love the fact that President Obama is doing that. And so we definitely wish him a safe trip.
Absolutely.
Positive conversations.
Thank you. You know, but to change anything, you have to have a conversation.
Correct.
You have to start
and be open-minded.
And be open-minded. And you don't have to agree with everyone.
That's right.
Nobody's going to agree with everybody.
You and I don't agree all the time.
I don't.
All right.
But, we listen.
Correct.
We're compassionate. We're understanding. And we have tolerance. And speaking of all of these wonderful characteristics, Pope Francis concluded his visit to Mexico yesterday. So this is from Mashable. The end of Pope Francis's visit to Mexico took a political tone on Wednesday as the pontiff celebrated Mass in the border town of Ciudad Juarez. Y'all didn't know I knew a little bit of that, huh? The Pope's visit to the border city was a strategic one, planned to shine a light on the ongoing flow of migrants from Mexico and elsewhere in Central America into the United States. Before it began, Pope Francis made a statement by walking a ramp to a large cross along the border at the Rio Grande River, a memorial for those who have died crossing it. And I actually got to watch this yesterday, and it was really so heartwarming and touching. If our Pope, and think about the way that we think about our Pope, brings himself to a level that we should all emulate. You know what I mean? Everybody looks at the Pope. Oh my gosh, he's the Pope. But he's like, yes, I'm the Pope, but I'm like you.
Yeah.
And we should all be doing these things for others because we are all our brother's keeper.
Well, he's leading by example, so.
Wait, what? Imagine that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But it's funny because the issue has become central, ahead of the 2016 elections, with the Republican presidential hopefuls vowing to expel all the estimated 11 million immigrants from the United States illegally and build a wall along the entire border from Texas to California. I'm sure we have all heard about this.
Yeah.
But we have to think about why people are doing this. Many are fleeing gang violence, economic instability, and encounter countless dangers on the journey, which Pope Francis focused on during the Mass. Pope Francis spoke and he said, mercy seeks to transform each situation from within. Listen to that. Mercy seeks to transform each situation from within. Mercy always pierces evil in order to transform it. Hello. I'm going to repeat that last one more time because I don't think y'all were listening.
I think we need to.
Mercy always pierces evil in order to transform it. How many people listening out there can be merciful? How many people listening out there have been merciful? How many people listening out there need to be merciful?
I was going to say. Yes.
We all deal with stuff in our lives.
Correct.
Let's try mercy.
Yeah.
I know that is one of the poignant outreach topics that Pope Francis wants to get through this year. This is the year of mercy. So we should all think about it. It's Lent. You may not be Catholic. You may be, whatever you are, Baptist, whatever faith you are. But in each of our faiths, mercy is a part of our foundation.
And I think sometimes people view mercy as being weak, but it's not. It's just being kind.
Hello.
And being gentle and because we are not perfect.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
So.
Well, I was reading and they said that minimum wage in Mexico, in that city was $11 a day.
$11 a day?
U.S. dollars.
Wow.
Right. I'm like, come on, y'all. And I'm not saying now live with that having no hope. And imagine the Pope coming to your town. You know, the State Department actually warned Americans not to travel to Ciudad Juarez due to organized criminal activity. It specifically warned against traveling to the business and shopping districts in the northeast section of the city and major industrial parks, as U.S. citizens have been victims of violent crimes such as homicide, kidnapping, carjacking, robbery. The city's murders rate skyrocketed to 230 per 100,000 residents just in 2010. But in yes.
What about the people that are living there?
It was the murder capital of the world.
Oh my God.
Not of the United States. And we know what we hear about in like Chicago and some of our major cities. Imagine being the murder capital of the world.
Oh my God. And I get it, you know, tourists, you guys shouldn't be visiting that area, but just imagine the people, the innocent people that are living there.
And that's where the Pope
Oh my gosh, the children.
Visit. But if he had not visited there, we would not be having this conversation today.
Oh my God.
Luckily, concerns did not stop pilgrims from flocking to Juarez to see the Pope speak. You know, journalists detailed seeing people from all over the southern U.S. and elsewhere in Mexico to line up to see the Pope. He knows what he's doing. He brings attention to the injustices in the world. And they have people who are upset that, you know, he's getting political. That's what one of our presidential candidates said. You know, he's too political. But being loving,
correct,
understanding, compassionate, and tolerant, I mean, come on now. Isn't that what we're supposed to be? And whether it's political or not, we're supposed to do these things. We're supposed to step up for the least of
I guess
those.
if you're political, you're not supposed to be kind. Yeah.
Hey.
It's kind of like, okay.
You know, the Pope always talks about migration problems all around the world, says one of the spokespersons from the Vatican. The Pope always talks about migration problems all over the world, of the duties we have to solve these problems in a humane manner, of hosting those who come from other countries in search of a life of dignity and peace. Sometimes people are just looking for, you know, a little hope.
Yep, that's just it.
A little hope. So what can we do today? You know, these are people that are living in Mexico, but, you know, we have people who are having these situations right in our city here.
Correct.
And we're talking about the year of mercy, and we're talking about doing random acts of kindness. You know, what can you do today to lend a little bit of mercy? What can you do? Have you been holding a grudge? Forgive them. It's really poison.
I don't hold grudges.
Grudges are like poison.
Exactly.
Because half the time the other person forgot about it, and you're like digesting the poison, and it's just like eating away at you, and you don't talk or whatever the situation may be. I'm like, y'all.
I used to maybe 2 years ago, and I discovered through all my fellowship and my retreat that it was just too much waste to carry around. Mm-hmm. But I believe in who I am. I know that I'm a good person, and
you are.
I try.
No, I'm serious.
I really try.
You inspire me.
I really try. You know, I'm not perfect, but so when an individual does stuff to me that I feel like it's not right, I don't carry that with me anymore. I let it go, and I pray for that person.
Right.
Because I don't want that person. Because I feel like that is not healthy for that individual, for anybody.
Right.
And I want that person to be good, so I let it go and I move forward. As painful it is, because I value friendship. I mean, friendship, relationship are very I'm very sensitive to it. Mm-hmm. And when somebody enter into a friendship with me or into a relationship with me and do wrong, it hurts.
Yes.
It really hurts, right? Because I care.
Right, exactly.
But then when the other person doesn't care, I've learned to move forward because I can't control that person.
Can't control anybody but yourself. And the sooner you learn that, the sooner life will become a lot easier. We cannot control anybody but ourselves. And so, you know, let's take this time to think about what we can do to be merciful, to, you know, offer random acts of kindness, because that is the good life. Let's take Pope Francis's, you know, example, and let's see how we can, you know, emulate that in our own lives. We're going to be right back, and we're going to speak of these things like, you know, helping others. Apple, did y'all hear about that?
Oh my God,
and the San Bernardino case? Well, we're going to talk about that when we get back, so make sure you stay tuned. This is Good Life, y'all.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
This is Darrell Hall over at Peak Mountain Technology Solutions. One of the questions we get asked often is how should a company go about protecting its computer systems environment from viruses or cyber attacks? For starters, it is important to adopt a few habits to help protect your computer systems. For example, use strong passwords for logging into computers. Passwords should not be something that are easily guessed by someone else. If you need to leave your computer or tablet for any length of time while at work, place it in lock mode or shut the computer's power down. Use caution when clicking on attachments or web links received through email from people you don't know. And don't click on pop-up ads from websites unless you have a reason to trust that site. And use virus protection software. On behalf of Peak Mountain Technology Solutions, this has been your Computer Technology Minute. For more information on how we can help protect your computer environment, give us a call at 504-355-8400 or visit us online at peakmountain-techsolutions.com.
Do you know anyone with less than perfect credit? At KB Enterprises, they specialize in restoring your score. Learn how to increase your credit score with 100% satisfaction guarantee. A+ rating with the BBB, 10-year track record of removing negative items including repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, tax liens, student loans, and more. Kenneth Barnes and his team at KB Enterprises are excited about helping you restore your credit and achieving your financial goals. Whether it's acquiring a home or purchasing a car, don't miss this opportunity to change your life forever. For more info, give them a call at 504-577-4139. Log on to www.kennethbarnes.org and be sure to tune into The Good Life on Money Mondays and get your financial tips for the week from Kenneth Barnes so you can live the good life too.
This celebrated moment in Black history is sponsored by Dr. Dwight McKenna. George McKenna was a professor at Xavier University for 50 years, and Leah McKenna was an educator and principal at Rivers Frederick Junior High School in New Orleans. The McKennas were responsible for educating thousands of black children in New Orleans over their careers. Their son, Dr. Dwight McKenna, honored his parents' memory by naming his African American museum after them, the George and Leah McKenna Museum of African American Art. Visit the George and Leah McKenna Museum at 2003 Carondelet Street and experience a visual representation of their talent. This celebrated moment in Black history is sponsored by Dr. Dwight McKenna.
All through the month of February, Toyota of New Orleans is proud to support Black History Month and the many significant accomplishments of African Americans throughout our history. Now, through the last day of February, Toyota of New Orleans offers new 2016 Toyota Corolla L's for only $17,528. $17,528 to buy a brand new Corolla from Toyota of New Orleans. Or move up to the bold new 2016 Toyota Camry for only $21,428. $21,428 for the legendary Camry. Plus, Toyota of New Orleans will deliver the uber versatile RAV4 for only $24,059. $24,059 for the new 2016 Toyota RAV4 LE. Log on. Learn more at toyotaofneworleans.com. Stock number T416443, T517578, and T238573. Plus tax title license and dealer doc fee of $200. Price includes dealer discounts and rebates of $750 to $1,500. MSRP Corolla $18,955. Camry $24,195. RAV4 $25,625.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Gumbo Talk Thursday, and we're going to open your mind. We live in a good life, in a different land. We are here on Gumbo Talk Thursday. I have Cindy in the studio with me, and we have been having a great time without those other two, huh?
Yeah, that's right. We've been dancing.
We have been talking about our random acts of kindness and things that we like to do. And so I'm going to extend this random act of kindness from our first caller, August. And I want to shout out that he was a first-time caller. So all of you listeners out there who you feel like you want to call in, 504-260-9265. That is 504-260-9265. We love to hear from you. Y'all, it's The Good Life. I'm fun to talk to.
And you know what? We know they're listening, but we would love for them to call in because we want to connect with our listeners, right?
To hear you. And so I'm going to extend this random act of kindness because you never know what happens when you call in. And I'm going to give a shout out to T. Eva's again. T. Eva's is located at 5201 Magazine Street. The number is 504-899-8350.
Is it a restaurant?
I'm going to tell you what they sell. How about that? I'm about to go down. It's kind of like a sweet shop, a snack shop.
Oh, really?
But like, they do packaged pralines and pies and things like that. So, and they do snowballs. Y'all, snowballs. But their specialty is pralines. They have regular size pralines. They have mini pralines, the ones that you pop in your mouth. It's also like
and it's all diet free, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Okay. They have hot dogs, jambalaya, red beans, gumbo, crawfish pies, sweet potato
I'm going
pies,
there tomorrow.
sweet potato pecan pie. Hello, y'all can play around.
Sweet potato
Girl,
pecan
I am
pie.
reading the menu. Regular pecan pie, cream cheese pecan pie. I want to know what that's like. Then they have a 9-inch crawfish pie made to order, and then they have 9-inch regular size made to order. So they also have catering for all locations. I'm reading everything here. You can go online at www.t, that's T-E-E, hyphen Eva, EVA, pralines.com. That's www.TEE-EVApralines.com. and that is located at 5201 Magazine Street, 504-899-8350. What would I be like saying have a random act of kindness
So
if
you
I
know
don't do
what?
it myself?
I know my friend Troy is listening, and I'm supposed to have lunch with Troy tomorrow. Troy, we're going to 5201 Magazine
and
Street
y'all, their
for
prices
lunch.
are like amazing. Nothing is over like $5.
I'm there.
Obviously, except the catering things. But, you know, if you have a party or if you have something at your house and you want, you know, pies or baked
pick up
goods
something
or
for
pralines.
somebody.
Yes. Or pick up something for Cindy and I.
Exactly.
You know, drop off a praline to WBOK. We like to eat here.
Oh, my God.
We eat all kinds of stuff. And especially if you're a restaurant, you want us to taste your food, we do that.
could be a good food critic.
I'm a great food
I
critic.
would love to add that to my resume.
And especially because it's Lent. You know, I'm being a pescatarian right now during Lent.
Oh, that's right.
So
You're
make
still on
sure
that
you
thing.
bring the crawfish pie. Make sure you bring the crawfish pie because
And don't
that
forget
is
about
a
our
good
friend
life.
Lee, too. So
Yes, don't
make,
forget about Lee.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring enough for everybody. And speaking about random act of kindness, I kind of hope that this is my 2 cents, and I know you have your 2 cents. So if you have your 2 cents on this, please give us a call, 504-260-9265, the Apple letter in the /Apple hack. I'm going to read a little bit of it to you from the New York Times so you know what we're talking about. After a federal court ordered Apple to help unlock an iPhone used by an attacker in a December mass shooting in San Bernardino, California, the company's chief executive, Timothy Cook, penned a passionate letter warning of far-reaching implications beyond the case. So let's talk about that for 2 seconds. We all know about the mass shooting in San Bernardino, which, you know, totally brought the country, you know, to its knees, which was, well, of the 2 suspects, well, I guess you want to call them suspects, murderers, terrorists, they still have one of their cell phones. They have pushed the little slide button on it, so if you attempt to put in a password 10 times and are incorrect, it will automatically delete all of the information from the iPhone.
Wow.
So they have the iPhone in custody. They just can't get the information out of there because they want to know who inspired him, you know, who. Yeah. They want to know
the whole plan,
the whole story.
Yeah.
And if there's anything else that could, you know, harm any more Americans. So that's why the government went to court to order Apple to unlock the phone, and the court agreed with the government and ordered Apple to help unlock the phone. So that's the backstory. So Timothy Cook penned a passionate letter warning of far-reaching implications beyond the case. He said, and the response from other technology companies, you know, has been kind of mixed, which I think is interesting. You know, a mix of carefully calibrated support and critics. Late on Wednesday, Sundar Pichai, the executive director of Google, said on Twitter that law enforcement demands to hack customer devices and data could be a troubling precedent. Not long afterward, Reform Government Surveillance, a coalition formed by Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook, released a broad statement that did not mention the Apple case specifically or Mr. Cook's letter, but said technology companies should not be required to put back doors, technically the equivalent of a tech entryway, into their products. What do you think about it?
Well, you know, I read it yesterday, and I could understand from the technology side.
Right.
I think as a consumer, I would be a little bit concerned, not that I have anything hidden in my phone, but I just feel like once we create something, there's always abuse that happens, and then, but I understand where the government is coming from, because I definitely want to make sure that we understand clearly and capture anybody else that are involved in the shooting.
Right.
But then on the other hand, we're now talking about everybody's privacy.
Right. So it's definitely a fine line. Would you be willing to give up some of your privacy for the good of the whole?
Correct.
That's for me. That's what the question is. Listeners, would you be willing to give up some of your privacy for the good of the whole?
Yeah.
Because technically, you know, these companies are protected by the United States of America, right?
Yeah.
And they're in the United States, and they're.
Why can't the government
do they
create
have
their own
a
backdoor?
They can't. They haven't been able to.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I mean, I'll be open to it and say do what you have to do, because we definitely don't want any more terrorists in our community. You know, because I don't got anything. I don't use my phone for that kind of reason anyway. I'm just kidding.
But if and I don't know if this is true or not. I'm, giving you a total hypothetical. What if there was someone who passed away in the San Bernardino shootings that was an Apple relative, that was a relative to Apple? Would you have a different view?
Yeah, true.
Because sometimes you have a different perspective. It's
Correct.
all about perspective, right?
Yep.
When it hits home.
Oh yeah, when it hits home, it's different.
Right. It's different. It's, our views on gun violence, our views on, women's health issues. When it hits close to home and it's a family member or a cousin or a mother or a sister
Correct.
that's going through something, you have an entirely different reality.
Yeah.
So if it were someone that you knew personally that passed away in one of these shootings, and the government had the iPhone that could give you the answers to maybe help someone else, what would you do?
Yeah. And I think that's where I'm sensitive to that fact because, so again, at the end of the day, I think for the technology companies that they may have to look at and evaluate their policy and, I don't know, maybe screen their people, don't give them the iPhone or, don't give them any more communication methods.
But, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, so that's why they get paid the bigger bucks.
So should Apple do a random act of kindness?
I think they should.
And hack the phone?
Yeah, I think they should.
My personal opinion is yes, because if it saves someone else's life. Now, I don't know. Now, they were asking Apple to create a technology that basically allows them entry.
Just for that one phone. That's what they say.
Yes, because Apple says that they don't have the information at all. They don't do that. Now, I don't know if it's something that, they their brilliant minds can come up with a way to just get into that phone.
Correct.
Now,
how do we destroy
is there a happy medium?
Well, I think one of the things is that what is the steps to destroy that hacking process to ensure that hacking process doesn't apply to
the multitude.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's where the concern is at, is to make sure that the privacy, just because we have this one knucklehead that did this, doesn't affect the entire world. So for me, it's about creating something and destroying it because there's always abuse when you create something that is so unique like this, because let me tell you, it will be the biggest bit of market. That product will be like, everybody's going to want to buy it.
Right, but
all the criminals are going to want to buy it.
Exactly, but think about it. If the criminals know that if I use this type of technology, the government can't get to me, why wouldn't all the criminals use this type of technology? Because the company is going to save me. I mean, that just makes sense, and I'm not even a criminal, but that's like A plus B equals C,
OMG.
right? You know what I'm saying? If I know I can get away with murder, literally, by using this type of technology, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they are intentionally using certain types of technology that the government cannot, break the encryption because they know that they can get away with it. So at what point are we going to be like, it's not okay?
Yeah. But so they created something to add to the iPhone, but is this something that the iPhone? I'm not a technology geek or anything like that, but so they purchased the iPhone and they added some sort of encrypted on their phone.
No.
So it was
this is on your iPhone and mine.
Well, then I think Microsoft needs to remove that. So that way we don't have that kind of challenging,
So it's definitely conversation. You know what? My 2 cents is if it saves a life and it's for the benefit of the whole, find a way. There's always a way. I was talking to Aiden this morning. There's always a way. It's your perspective. You can either get stuck on the first thing or the first obstacle that you see and, you fall apart. Well, then you're never going to get anywhere.
That's right.
Find another way. There is another way. But if you get bogged down by all the minutia in your head, you're never going to see the way. You're never going to see the light. So get past it. Open your mind to living differently in the world. There may be a happy medium for this. Do I know? No, I am no Silicon Valley tech genius. But I know that there are enough of them there that they can figure out a way to help the government and still protect our rights.
So Apple
find the happy medium.
So Apple needs to create that hack.
That's my 2 cents. Yeah. And that's the good life. So I think they should listen.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
I think they should. I mean, because you're talking about there was several hundreds that were affected by
people's lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, exactly. And so I think, but as a company, when you look at a company perspective, it's always the legality that comes with it.
Right.
Are they going to be subject to lawsuit from other people that will sue them? And they claim that because of what they created to help this phone.
Right.
Cause or interfere with their privacy.
Right.
Because we do live in a society of...
Well, I'm saying just don't create a mass thing. Just do something to that phone. Throw it on the wall, whatever. I mean,
Correct.
You know what you're doing. You created it. Figure it out.
Exactly. So they probably already have the answer. Maybe they're just trying to buy some time and get some recognition.
I don't know, but they probably didn't want to be forced by the courts. But you know what? If you know, it is what it is.
It's a court order.
It's a court order.
Yeah, correct.
Can we pick and choose to do what the court tells us to do?
Well, I haven't been court ordered to do anything yet.
But I don't think we can pick and choose, so I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Well, they're Apple, you know that.
What's good for the gander is good with
I hear you.
When your orders are ordered. So it is what it is. And that is a good life, because I would never tell you to do anything that's against the law.
That's right.
That's right. This is a good life. Well, this is Gumbo Talk Thursday. We have definitely gotten into the stew. We want to open your minds to living differently in the world. Please go to T-Eva's on 5201 Magazine Street and, support them. Their telephone number is 899-8350, 899-8350. That was my one act of kindness. I will probably do more than one, but what type of act of kindness are you going to do today? Show some mercy, y'all. That's a good life. And I'm out.